What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. Today, it is time that we discuss the Nevada Senate and gubernatorial races. That's right, folks. For the first time in a while, we're going to be talking about Nevada, because an interesting trend is emerging from the state of Nevada. When we originally talked about Nevada, we thought, okay, Laxalt's going to win by a lot, more like 3 to 4 points, while Lombardo's going to barely win. Well, it appears that may be the opposite. Now, before we continue with today's video and before I explain that, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow that Twitter account in the description down below. Hopefully there's a new Twitter account coming soon. You probably know which one that is. And I hope you join the channel today. That is right, folks. For just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. Only 10 cents a day. That's a phenomenal deal, as it helps support the daily content. We all love the daily content on this channel, and I recommend you join, as it helps support the daily content, and it gives you a good feeling in your heart knowing, hey, for just 10 cents a day, I support a Real American Politics. Of course, for $5 a month, you can support Real American Politics even more and get a shout out at the end of each video. So I hope you join today. So like I said in the intro, a couple months ago, we were discussing, okay, Laxalt was going to win by 3 to 4 points more than likely, while Lombardo, he was probably going to win, but by a much closer margin than the Senate race. Well, that may have just flipped. Now, there's multiple reasons why that could have flipped, but it's one major thing I think's happening. The undecideds in the governor's race, they're deciding. And when they look at Sisolak, one of the worst governors in the country, his record, they start to realize, wait a minute, this clown destroyed Nevada's economy. Now, most states, obviously, during COVID and stuff, their economies got just wiped out. A lot of states. But Nevada in particular got hit hard. Everybody knows about the casinos. Guess what? Casinos don't make money, if nobody shows up. That's one of the biggest reasons Nevada got hit hard by the COVID stuff. And that's probably a reason why Trump did a little bit worse than I expected in 2020. Now, you look at the undecideds, you start to realize that Sisolak has basically been at 44% this entire time, while Lombardo, the undecideds, they're picking him, and he's suddenly going up and up and up. Trafalgar, for example, has him up by 7. And again, I had some issues with Trafalgar this cycle, but even they have a trend. Earlier, it was Lombardo plus 3. Now, it's Lombardo plus 7. You can even go back earlier, Lombardo plus 2, etc. So there is a trend towards Lombardo, and I think it's more of an anti-lockdown sentiment against Sisolak. That's why I think it's driving this starting to become increasingly favorable race to the Republicans, compared to the Senate race, which Laxalt is still in the lead by a point or so, but the undecideds appear to be breaking kind of evenly. Half of them are breaking for Cortez, half of them are breaking for Laxalt. Now, why don't I think this trend will continue? Look at who's remaining undecided in this race. It's mostly white working class voters or Hispanic working class voters. That's who's left. Now, the Hispanic working class voters, 10 years ago, they probably would have been more favorable to Democrats. Not so much anymore. Look at 2020. Look at the precinct data in Las Vegas, in particular North Vegas, and tell me with a straight face, oh yeah, the Hispanics, they're going to vote overwhelmingly for Cortez. No, Laxalt's loved by Hispanics in the state of Nevada. And that's why I think the biggest reason that these remaining undecided voters are going to break for Laxalt. Now, here's the one thing about Nevada that people do bring up and is a fair point. It's one of the only states nationally. Maybe I think Georgia's the second. It's kind of even, but this is one of the only states out of every state, out of 50 states, where the polling tends to overstate Republican support while understating Democrat support. Yeah, this is one of the only states where this happens. For example, usually it's a 2-point understatement for Republicans. According to RCP, it's actually 1.7. Give me a break, I rounded up by 0.3. But either way, that means, for example, usually in the past, Heller was up by, 1.7 at this exact time. You do some math, you adjust for it, it's more like Heller's probably tied. That's Dean Heller, the clown that ran for governor this cycle, who was a former senator. Didn't go so well for him. But either way, it is one of the only states where Republicans tend to underperform polling. And you look at this here, Cortez is up by half point according to the adjusted polling. But with a race like Nevada, a race like Arizona, the key number I look at is the incumbent's number. You know the rule. If the incumbent is under 50%, and not by like 1 point, you start getting a 2, 3, 4, even a 6-point underperformance of 50. In that scenario, the incumbent tends to not be in a good situation because those undecideds, sure, they haven't decided for the opposing party yet, but in this environment, those undecideds, they're going to break for the opposing party. In this scenario, the Republicans. Democrats are in power, and Mastro, or Cortez, she is an incumbent. She's basically not once been at 50% this entire time. That is a terrible sign. In fact, she's been at 44, 46, 48%. Nowhere at 50%. If she was at 50%, she may have a shot at holding on, but she doesn't. These remaining undecideds historically have broke for the opposing party in an environment like this. Now, people are going to say 2010, but 2010. Okay, that's once. Once in Nevada, where the incumbent was above 50%, or I should say below 50% and survived. Fine, that's once. And that was with Harry Reid. And we know Harry Reid with his certain machine in Las Vegas, but I'm not going to get into that. Because YouTube. Maybe on Twitter I could say it, but not on YouTube. Not on YouTube. So the question is this. Where is this overperformance coming from Lombardo to do about a point better than Laxalt? Well, it's kind of simple. Laxalt is going to do much better in the rest of the state. In particular, the red part of the state. Not just, pink red, blood red, white pine, Eureka, Lincoln, etc. These are some of the most Republican parts of the state. The most Republican parts of the state. And they trended heavily towards Trump. These are the counties that will break the most for Laxalt compared to Lombardo. Now, Lombardo has the advantage. He was the sheriff of Vegas. The biggest county in the state. Where basically over half the vote comes from Vegas. Who do you think's going to do better in Vegas or Clark County? Laxalt or Lombardo? Yeah, Laxalt's a big name in Nevada. Of course, he has family that was, I think his father was the attorney general. He was an attorney general. But he's not going to do as good as Lombardo since, Lombardo is from Clark. And this is a county that's been trending Republican under the Trump era. But Lombardo has the advantage because Vegas got hit hard with COVID, the lockdown stuff, at least lockdowns. We're just going to say lockdowns. Because Sisolak forced them to shut down, destroyed many jobs, destroyed many businesses, and that alone gives Lombardo a boost. Plus, he was a popular sheriff from Clark County. And you just got to narrow the margin of Clark by what? 40,000 votes? And you win state of Nevada. You don't even have to win Reno. So that's why I think that Republicans are currently on pace to win both the Senate and gubernatorial races. And I think that if Republicans are up by 2 to 3 points on November 7th, November 8th, according to polling, they're safe from the understatement that usually happens in the past. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.